it's great to have you here. Thank you for listening to our podcast, or if you're watching this on our YouTube, thank you for joining us. Now, I always get really excited when I have a guest on our session, and I'm really excited today because we have the wonderful brand Didriksons on the session. Now, for those of you that have attended one of my webinars or training, especially in the e-commerce camp, I will have used Didrikson in an example because, as you guys know, I love to bring to life examples of an experience I've had, and I'll bring it to life shortly, but I'm delighted to have Didriksons today. And in particular, I've managed to tempt Daniella, their e-commerce manager, to join me. So thank you, Daniella, for joining me today. It's really, really great to have you here.
Thank you.
So Daniella, for those people that are not aware of Didriksons, please go and check it out. But for those of you that are not aware of Didriksons, do you just want to give us a little bit of an overview of the brand, please?
Yes, absolutely. So to make it real simple, Didriksons is the Swedish jacket brand. And it's really cool because it's an authentic brand and we have a real story behind it with real people and real values. So we were founded in 1913 by Julius and Hannah Didriksons. And they were beginning to producing workwear for the fishermen in the west coast of Sweden. So for over 100 years, we have remained true to the original concept of producing functional garments that protects people from the elements. Also a little bit about the products. We are really focusing on creating sustainable products that will last for a long time. So timeless design, careful choice of colors, and also long-term relationships with both customers, retailers, and producers. So that is very important for us as a brand, but also important for the environment.
Absolutely, Danielle. I know that's important for many manufacturers like yourselves and consumers, especially during COVID. Now, the reason I've asked Didriksons on today is just to bring to life how they've gone about their journey. And Danielle is kindly going to share some of those today because you will know that customer centricity is absolutely key. And it's really hard, especially if you work within an organization, just to get focused on, yep, that's fine, that will do. But it's really hard to think about from a consumer perspective. And the way I became aware of Didriksons is actually I came on that journey myself as a user. So I'll probably bring that to life now because it'll probably be quite useful for those that haven't attended our training. So I have a little boy who loves the outdoors, Daniella, and he has many of your bits of clothing. Now, he went to a regular nursery. Now, for any of you that have children, especially boys, and I'm sure girls are very energetic too, but when he got to 2 years old, he just was not, he was having a great time at nursery, but he just wanted to be outside, and he was coming home from nursery every day, and he was just full of energy. He just needed to be outside. So we found him, what we call in the UK, Daniela, we found him a nursery that is basically a forest school. So they are outside all day, every day, regardless of the weather. Now, this all happened during COVID. Now, I don't actually like purchasing things online because the thing I get fed up with online is I can't touch it, feel it. And many brands really struggle to bring that to life, which I'm going to ask you about in a minute, Daniela, because you guys answer it wonderfully. So I had to kit my little boy out in really solid wet weather gear without being able to go into the shops. And I was getting really frustrated with the information I wasn't getting, because if you send your child to forest school, you want them to be super waterproof, super warm, but also super, cool as well during various weather. And it needs to be really hard wearing because they are playing with sticks and all sorts of wonderful things. He was learning to light a fire last week. This boy is 3.5 years old. So you get my drift that the clothing kit you need to kit your children out needs to be really, really solid. Now, when I started Googling, I was really struggling to find a brand that answered all of those questions. I couldn't touch it, feel it. Now, when I came across Didriksons' website and I was looking at their rainwear, I wanted something that was super waterproof, super hard wearing, and I wanted to know what warmth level it was because I wanted to layer my little boy up. I didn't want to buy one jacket and then have to buy another jacket in the summer. I was all for like sustainability and maximizing my budget and buying one bit of equipment that I could kit him out in the summer and the winter. And this is how I came across Didriksons. Now, for those of you that haven't been on Didriksons, please go and have a look at their website. And in particular, if you want to have a look at the example that I'm referring to, have a look at the children's section and then their rainwear section and have a look at their product listings. But this is where I'm going to hand back to you, Daniela, if that's okay. And I can see you nodding and smiling, going, yep, we're ticking all the boxes, because you absolutely did. But how did you go about developing your product pages to answer the queries that I had as a consumer in that example?
First of all, I just want to say that that's a wonderful story. And we're so happy to be able to inspire people to be outdoors. That is exactly what we want to do. That if you go back to like our e-commerce, the main purpose is to build our brand. And our brand is to see you outside, to inspire people to be outdoors. So it's so lovely to hear. But also though, when we look at the product pages, we actually launched our new product pages during this summer. Previously, we were quite not satisfied because they were quite static. We couldn't really change them much. And as probably many retailers know, most of the traffic comes straight into a product or category page and not to the start page. So we wanted the product page to breathe the brand. We wanted to be creative. We wanted to communicate this brand story and sustainability, measurements, care, all the crucial information you need as a customer. Yeah. And we also wanted to add extra videos and images that would inspire this to be outdoors and see you outside. So after a process with internal workshops and great work from all teams and partners, we launched our new product pages. And now we have the possibility to make any page we want, any product, unique. So you could have, for example, a kids rain cloth page, and that looks like this. And we have a women jacket look, and that one needs to look a little bit more sophisticated, maybe with other pictures and other videos. So we could do that. And also it holds all the information we have on the products. It's unique measurements per size, all the sustainability aspects, materials, care, functions, and we can design them however we want, which is really nice and really good for the customer experience as well.
And I think what I really like about your pages is, like you've said, most people won't come in on the homepage. I certainly didn't, because I was looking for rain sets for forest school or something. And I'd started to find out about you guys from forums, from other parents that had sent their children to forest school. I'm like, you need some really hard wearing kit. I was like, yeah, I know, but I don't know what hard wearing looks like. So then when I did a bit of Googling and found you guys, it answers all of those questions. So sustainable is really important to me. What sizing, because like, again, I've never bought your products before, so I was like, what size is he going to need? So with just one click of a button, I can get an idea of what size, how warm the product is, because it was really focused on me as a consumer, overcoming the questions that you knew I had as a parent, to be able to go, yes, this is the product that is right for me. And I love the videos of the the little boys or the little girls in that instance, wearing the product, because you want to see like what it actually looks like on, because again, if it's just a picture or product, you can't see that, can you? And you guys did that really well. So you've got the video of the children actually walking in and turning around, so you can see it, you can pick the color, you can then see how hard wearing it is, you've got close-ups on images, and then you've got the images, I think it's along the bottom, like how hard wearing is it, how waterproof is it, and it doesn't just say it's waterproof, it tells you like how waterproof it is. Yeah, so all those questions on that product page, obviously for rain sets, is really important. But I like the fact that you guys have sort of taken that a step further, because if you do some wonderful women's clothes, I haven't purchased any of those yet, by the way, but I'm sure I will, because I think my son gets his outdoor gene from me. It needs to be different, doesn't it? So it isn't one size fits all, which I think is really, really good. So linked to that, Daniela, what have you learned along the way, and what have you improved on the basis of that?
Oh, we learned so much every day. But also, as you mentioned, like constantly looking at customer feedback, what can we improve? Like if we look at the customer service, what do people say? What do they want to know? To always be looking at that, and not only for the website and product pages, but for all aspects of the e-commerce business and business, of course. But also I believe that learning to be agile, always being able to pivot in an early stage in the process is really important, and that also has been a successful process for us to do during this project and other projects that we do.
Mm. And is there particular areas that you've pivoted and been agile in that you've managed to take advantage of, do you think, Daniela?
Probably, like, for example, the product pages we launched, but we have tweaked a lot along the way when we get the feedback from customers.
So linked to that, it's been great to see you guys, building your brand. And I know that you guys are, and I follow you guys on LinkedIn and always singing your praises, but I can see you've been opening stores, which is great. And actually I went into a certain outdoor store in the UK in Norwich, which is where I live, and saw your brand, saw the jackets. I was like, oh, wow, I can actually see you guys on the shelves. I didn't realize that you were working with third-party suppliers. But linked to that, you've been doing, sort of from what I can see, a pretty big push on international. So how have you approached that? Because I know there'll be lots of people listening today or watching today thinking about how you guys have approached international, because that's a big nut to crack, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But as to we are a well-established brand in Scandinavia, but not yet as well known in Europe. But we have in our e-commerce, if we look at that, we have an fast and easy way of enabling new countries to our website. But strategically, we've been focusing on markets where we already have an established wholesale business first, because we already have some recognition in these countries, which makes it a little bit easier to expand. But what has been the most game-changing for us is actually the investing in digital marketing. Doing that has made things really take off quite fast in the markets where we already have some sort of presence. It's also been very important for us to communicate in the local language, for example, in Germany, and also, for example, in France. And in the markets where we do not have an established wholesale business yet, we have lower brand awareness, which makes it a little bit harder to drive traffic and create trust through marketing. So we have a great example of that. That is our recent market, France, where we're doing exactly this. We're launching pop-ups. We have a pop-up now in Paris, and using a mix of digital marketing, influencer marketing, and even working with local PR offices to do exactly this, since we don't have so much brand recognition yet. So we can see clearly that the more we drive and promote our brand, the more demand we get from businesses who actually wants to sell our products. So it's a win-win situation. It's really, really cool.
And I think it's really great that you've highlighted that it's not digital marketing in isolation. Like, you've really gone about this in quite a strategic way, because many organizations will go, oh, we can sell to anywhere in the world. Yes, you can, but there will already be brands recognized in that part of the world that are probably doing quite well. And how are you going to be different in that space? So I really like the fact, and I saw that you'd done a pop-up in Paris, which was great to see, that you're thinking about, okay, where are we selling wholesale already? How can we add digital to layer that up? How can we use traditional PR, blah, blah, blah. How long have you guys been doing digital marketing, Daniela, if you don't mind me asking?
How long have we been doing digital marketing?
Yeah.
We started approximately 4 years ago, when we started the e-commerce business expansion. And we've been having it as a primary, like a primary strategy to grow our business since then.
Excellent. Great. Well, linked to that, what are you working on next that you're happy to share? Obviously, I totally get that, there might be things you don't want to share, but from a point of view of areas that you are happy to share, what exciting things is Didrikson working on next?
We are a very, very exciting place right now, and we are continuing scaling up our e-commerce business, which is very fun, focusing on building brand on new markets, as I mentioned previously, but also focusing on growth in our existing markets. We discussed a little bit about the product page. We are also doing a redesign on our menu and category pages, and also improving our user-generated content design. So that will be launched next spring. That will also go into the more like brand aspect, to show more brand on the category pages, for example, and make it easier for the customer to experience the products and choose the product. So better filtering and sorting, etc.
Yeah.
But the main thing is preparing for growth, and that means that we have to be very agile and very flexible in our business. Also being prepared for any changes, even if it's in the industry or in the world, as we've seen the past year. But that, to be flexible and very fast paced, we definitely see that as a key to our success in the past and future.
Do you have any hints and tips on staying agile and fast? Because I know in sort of, medium and large organizations, that's often a challenge, but it's not a quick fix, is it? How do you guys go about that?
No, it's I guess it's quite hard, but I think it's really important to obviously be data driven, but also to be innovative, have that culture in the company, make it okay to make mistakes, because that's how you learn and how you grow, both as a person and as a company. And also, like, you don't have to start big, you start small, and apply the changes that you can apply, and that will become great in the end.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay. Well, a huge amount of insight and knowledge shared today, Daniela. And I think agility is absolutely key, and also being data driven. So they're all like sort of music to my ears, but I'm not surprised because the success you guys are having. So thinking about driving into, if you are going international, thinking about picking the right countries first based on the awareness you do have, like you have said, making sure you localize the content. Too many businesses just use Google Translate, which is a big hashtag fail. And also then thinking about being really consumer centric. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Danielle. It's been really fascinating and great to hear your insights. But once again, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been great.